Hello everyone, welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, I cannot wait to share with you 40 DIY Dollar Tree Easter springtime decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Spring series. I love to share with y'all how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. And if you all are new, welcome. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I am a dedicated wife, mama, and crafter, and just lover of taking inexpensive items from the Dollar Tree or the thrift store and just making them fabulous on a budget. So if you like that kind of content, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you. But without further ado, go ahead and plug in your glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we are going to make this super adorable Easter bunny sign. So to start out with, I'm just going to take one of those Dollar Tree signs that says "Let It Snow," and then I peeled off the "Let It Snow." If you don't have this sign, do not worry, you can use pretty much any sign and paint it white. And then I'm going to take this adorable bunny picture. I found it on graphicsfairy.com. All you have to do is go to graphicsfairy.com and Google Easter bunny, and you have so many different little bunny pictures to choose from. I just printed it out on regular paper, and then I'm going to add some hot glue. I could not find my Mod Podge or glue for the life of me. Either I'm out or I've misplaced them. Comment and let me know if you guys do the exact same thing as a crafter. You have everything all organized, so you think you go to find something and it's gone. And so now I'm just adding these cute little burlap rosettes. I find them at burlapfabric.com. I'll leave a link for that as well. I do have a $5 off coupon code. It's Olivia Spring. And then I decided after I got the cute bunnies and the little rosettes on that I would take some of this Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon and just kind of ruche it together. So I'm just adding hot glue and then ruching it together and just creating a little bit of razzle dazzle. You all know I love to add just a little bit of extra sparkle and shine. And then once I had everything added, I did decide to add one of those beautiful little bling brooches. I get my bling brooches off of totallydazzled.com. I'll also leave a link for that for you guys. They're super inexpensive. And then Dollar Tree is also carrying pearls. So I decided to add some pearls as well. And here it is. Oh my goodness. I think this is so fun and fabulous and something that you would see at TJ Maxx or Home Goods, definitely for much more than a couple of dollars. You can always use what you have, dig into your scraps and pull out, grandma's old jewelry or whatnot. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to use this super adorable box. I actually found this at Dollar General. It was $2. And then I'm just going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to create a spot going across the box and then the other way, so you almost make like a basket weave with your Scotch tape. What I want to do is create a beautiful floral arrangement in this box without ruining the box by gluing down any kind of foam. So I can easily remove the tape, change out the floral, use it for storage, or do whatever suits my fancy. Now I'm taking these beautiful tulips. I found them for $1.99 at Michael's, and then some of these beautiful Dollar Tree spindly flowers. I believe they're called amaranthuses. Is that right? You guys comment and let me know. I think somebody told me last time, but I'm even actually not completely for sure how to pronounce that. But look how beautiful this is. So you're just going to use some spring florals. I chose a stem of green tulips, a stem of pink tulips, 2 stems of the white tulips, and then just some of these Dollar Tree wildflowers. They kind of stand up a little further, and so I had kind of the cascading flowers and then the wildflowers, and then I did end up take the cascade flowers and snip them down just a little bit so they weren't quite as loopy out the edge. I know I've had some questions about that, and even I used some of the greenery that was on this. So just get creative. This box would also be fabulous, gorgeous with roses done in it. I don't know if you've seen some of those bouquets They're so ridiculously expensive, and you guys can do this on the cheap with a little bit of creativity, some scotch tape, and some beautiful florals from wherever you choose. The other place I love to check out finding beautiful florals are the thrift store, so definitely check your floral section at your thrift store. And here is how the finished product looks. I am over the moon in love with this. Spring is definitely blooming in my heart, and I will be decorating for spring very soon after our Valentine's Day celebration. If you all need ideas for Valentine's Day, I did 40 DIYs for Valentine's Day, so go check out the Home Sweet Home series playlist. I'm going to link it for you guys down below. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create a little mini egg topiary to put on top of my candlesticks that I found at the thrift store. I'm going to take a packet of the larger Dollar Tree eggs. I'm going to hot glue this with a lot of hot glue. So I clipped the stick off of the egg and then I'm hot gluing it. And then I'm going to clip the stick off of the next egg, but I'm going to leave a little bit of stick on there so I can just push it through. And I'm just going to kind of create a fun little whimsical topiary. So I'm going to continue to clip more eggs, leaving a little bit of stem so I can secure them on there. If you want added security, add a dab of hot glue to the end of your stem. Now I know it looks kind of funky here, but you guys hang in there with me. So now I'm going to take a little bit smaller of an egg and begin to build a bit of a topiary. I just want them to kind of sit on top of the egg, so I didn't want them to go super tall and be flopping over. I want to create a low base egg topiary. So I'm continuing to add these in, and also try to vary your colors. If you have yellow on the bottom, put the yellow at the top. I did my best with this. You could also use some even smaller eggs if you wanted to build on top of that. Now I'm taking some of this greenery. I actually found this at, I believe it was at Michael's. It's some really pretty greenery. They also have beautiful greenery at Dollar Tree, or just dig into your craft stash and find some pretty greenery and add that in and around the spaces where you stuck the eggs in. So that's going to give your eggs also added security. The hot glue will hold them together, as well as the greenery. And then you have a very fabulous egg topiary, again, that would cost you, you know, $10 to $15 at one of the decor stores, and we're doing it on the cheap for sure. I just love this. I love figuring out fun ways to create new home decor on the cheap that looks fabulous and that's budget friendly. And here is how the finished product looks after I popped it on top of my little shabby chic candlesticks. I found these candlesticks at the thrift store. I painted them white and distressed them, and I just thought it would be so fun to add that. You could also add these little egg topiaries to a 3-tiered tray or to a centerpiece on your table for a little bit of razzle dazzle for your Easter decor. I'm just loving this. I think they look fun and fabulous, and they were so easy to do. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create an oversized bird nest with this little pink basket I found at Dollar Tree. It was $2 for $1 and it was left over in the Valentine's Day decor. I'm just taking this larger piece of burlap. Again, I get all my burlap at burlapfabric.com, and I'm just hot gluing it in and around this little basket. Now just look around your home. You guys probably have a little basket that could easily be turned into a bird's nest. Last year I also used chicken of the sea tuna cans to turn into bird's nest. You can use sour cream containers, whatever you have on hand. Just take it and then cover it either with some fabric or some burlap or some ribbon, and that will get you started on your little fun and fabulous bird nest. So now I'm just going to take some Dollar Tree raffia and I'm going to wrap that around the top. I want to always think about what a bird would use to create a nest. So the birds here at my house, they kind of gather all all different kinds of materials. So I feel like the raffia gives this project a bit of dimension. I am just going to add a dab of hot glue to kind of secure it on. And then I did even add a pipe cleaner to the other side. And then I just popped outside and grabbed some sticks. These were from a grapevine wreath that I had pulled apart, but you guys can find sticks or grapevine wreaths at your craft store or also at the Dollar Tree. So just hot glue those on, and then I used some moss to kind of cover the sticks with because they weren't hot glued on there as well as I wanted them to. So the moss or cutting some little strips of burlap and putting those on top of your sticks will help them stay on. I will let you know that you need to have your vacuum on hand because this is a very messy project, but in the end you'll be so excited because Pottery Barn is selling these for hella expensive, and you guys just can do a lot of this, do it yourself, and make a beautiful little bird nest basket. And I used several of these last year for my Easter decor, and they are so beautiful. Again, they're really messy, but they're well worth it in the end. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this little lantern that I found at the thrift store and several different rolls of Dollar Tree spring Easter ribbon, and I'm going to take it and make a funky bow. So I saw Julie Samako from Southern Charms Wreath make one similar to this, so I'm going to try my hand at this. Bear with me, this is the first time I've ever made one of these. So I'm just taking my ribbon and I'm stretching it out and cutting 16-inch pieces for all of the ribbon. Now you all measure whatever size you all need to the project that you have. This lantern is very small, so I didn't need very long ribbon, but if you have a larger lantern, you might want to use larger ribbon. And I'm just taking the ribbon and I'm looping it over on itself and then pinching it in the center, and I'm just beginning to layer them on top of each other. Again, this is my take on the funky bow, and then you can just take also and twist that ribbon out and just continue to pinch it and loop it over. This is also a really great way to repurpose and reuse any ribbon that you may have in your stash that's not big enough to make a larger bow with. So you can take scrappy ribbon and easily repurpose. Then I'm taking this pipe cleaner and I'm just going to pipe cleaner all of the ribbon together. And then comes the super fun part. After you have it all together, you can just begin to twist your ribbon loops out and make them look all fancy and fabulous. And also don't forget to dovetail your ends, and I dovetail my ends by taking and cutting a little triangle upward in my ribbon to kind of give it that beautiful boutique finish. The next thing I want to do is just take some hot glue and add hot glue to the ends of these little tulips and these little lilacs. I had these lilacs left over from last year. I found them at Dollar Tree, but just dig into your craft stash. Whatever little spring flowers you have are so easy to just go ahead and pop into your little arrangement and just add a tiny bit of hot glue. I'm trying not to add a super ton of hot glue because if I want to reuse these florals, I want to be able to pull them out fairly easily, and once this arrangement gets set where it needs to be, it will be fine. It won't get moved around or wind blown or anything like that. Oh my goodness, these spring colors are just speaking to me, and I love that Dollar Tree is really giving us some variety. This beautiful little checkered plaid is so pretty. I know they had it at Michael's for definitely more than $1. You don't get a whole super ton on the rolls, and they are a bit of flimsy ribbon, but if you're just doing a fun little whimsical bow here and there, I think they're really great and fun to use, especially if you want to try out different color combinations. This, I really went all spring with yellows and pinks and blues and purples. Comment and let me know how you all decorate for spring. Do you really go for all of the beautiful spring colors with the lilacs and the pastels? Do you stick to your black and whites or just greens? And here is the finished project, and I am so in love with this. This was so fun to make, and it's so beautiful, and it will fit perfectly into my beautiful spring decor. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just going to take some little fairy lights and I'm going to take some of those Dollar Tree carrots and I'm going to add some hot glue to the center part of the fairy light, just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to gently wrap that stem of the carrot around the top of it. I saw these on the Pier 1 website for definitely more than a couple of dollars, and I think adding a little whimsical garland is really sweet. It gives that nice little glow that you may be missing from Christmas. I did pop a little candle into the lantern, and then here is how those super adorable fairy lights look. Oh my goodness, so ready for some spring dreaming. As always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. And thank you for all of the beautiful posts that you're sharing on Facebook. I just love to see what you all are up to. You create such beautiful treasures. It just truly makes my heart sparkle and shine. So as always, I want to encourage you all to keep up the good work, crafting and decorating and tidying your home, and looking forward to this new season with joy, no matter what the circumstances are. I know sometimes things can be really amazing and sometimes not so much. So keep your chin up and keep going. Keep up that good work, you guys. So I found this beautiful lemon branch on the Pottery Barn website. It was $49 and I just knew we could duplicate it using Dollar Tree supplies. So I'm going to start out with one of those cotton stems and I'm going to go ahead and pull the cotton stems off. Now don't panic if you love the cotton stems. I'm going to save them for later. And then I'm just going to take some of those Dollar Tree lemons. And again, I found all of this at the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to pop some hot glue in to the base of the lemon. It has this little cap that you guys can pull off and you'll have access to that styrofoam hole. So just pop some hot glue into there and then you're going to pop your lemon onto your cotton stem branch. Now if you don't have a cotton stem branch, you can really use any branch that just has some little leftover goodies on it. So pull all the roses off your rose branch and then use that, whatever you have on hand. And then I'm going to take one of those Dollar Tree vines. This comes in a strand and I'm just going to begin to loop it around the little extra edges of the cotton stem branch. So I was so excited for this. I'm always admiring all the beautiful lemon branches that you see at Michael's, on Pottery Barn, Pier 1 Imports, even in Target, and they're so pricey. So I thought we could really replicate it and have some lemon sunshine cheer for our kitchen or wherever we may want to add a pop of color. Lemons are super hot again this year, so this is definitely a must-have for me. So here is how it is going to look with just one row of the Dollar Tree leaves. I decided to go ahead and take another part of that garland and just loop it in and around the lemons again to kind of fill it out and make it just a little bit more realistic. Of course, do what you love and what's on your budget. I popped them into a vase. I ended up making 2 of those. And I also decided to cut up some fresh lemons and make a really yummy lemon simmering pot. So you're just going to slice up some lemons, add in some fresh basil, and then also some oregano or whatever herbs that you have. I wanted this to be a really fresh scent for my home. It also just gave me some cheer. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I am going to make a bunny garland. So I'm going to start out with some of those wooden bunny cutouts, and I'm going to use some cotton balls and then just this fabric that I picked up at Walmart, super inexpensive. So I'm just going to take the bunny cutout and I'm going to pop it on top of the fabric that I cut out. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the size of the bunny, and I'm just going to begin to add hot glue in and around the bunny. I want to cover it with the fabric. Now this would work really great with some buffalo check plaid paper, but I did not have that on hand. I'm really trying to dig into my stash and use what I have. So I'm just trimming in and around the bunny to kind of help it fit a little bit closer. You're not going to see the back, even though it is a little bit wacky, but you're not going to see it because it is going to be glued to a garland. So you're just going to continue to glue the bunny on, and here's what it should look like after you get that part finished. And then I'm just going to take this cotton ball. I didn't have any pom-poms, so I'm using the cotton ball, and then I'm just going to add some hot glue, and voila, you have a cute little bunny cottontail. Absolutely perfect to pop into really any Easter decor. And what I love about this buffalo check plaid is honestly we can leave this out even past Easter because of the black and whites. Now I do love my pastels, and they're definitely going to make an appearance during my Easter decor, but for a transition from Valentine's to Easter, I think this is definitely the perfect must-have. So here is some delicious carrot cake hot out of the oven. Oh my goodness, during the wintertime I really do love to have a baked good here and there. I've also been making banana bread. I do have a banana bread recipe on my channel. It's kind of an older video, but it's still fun to watch, and I actually had to reference it the other day. So for the next part of this DIY, we're going to create the banner using this Hug Kiss Love sign. They're selling this in the Valentine's Day section at Dollar Tree. And so you're just going to take the hearts off, and then also the Hug Kiss Love part. And then you're just going to trim it down to kind of make it fit the size of a banner. This was such a beautiful sign, but I did pick up a couple of extras. That way I'd have something to play with for DIYs. So once you have your little squares trimmed down, and honestly you could really use pretty much any burlap fabric. I had this on hand, so I thought it would work perfectly. You're going to go ahead and just dovetail the end of the little Hug Kiss Love sign by folding it in half and then cutting upward with your scissor, really depending upon whatever shape that you love. And then I'm just going to take some of this buffalo check plaid ribbon that I had left over. I'm just adding it over the kiss part. You could leave the wording on there, but I thought it would be cute to just go ahead and add this cute little top to the banner with the buffalo check plaid. I used a lot of it during Christmas time, and it is still hot and just wonderful in with the lemons, and it just feels so fresh. And it's also matching our little bunnies. So my little banner part needed to be a little bit longer, so I'm just laying the bunnies down with a bit of hot glue a little bit further down, and then I took some string and I'm just stringing them on here to create the little banner. And oh my goodness, I have had this DIY in my head for quite some time now. I think I saw something like this, maybe at Pier 1 Imports, or maybe I dreamed it up, I don't know, but I just thought it looked so adorable and oh so perfect. This is definitely going to go in my kitchen. Mr. Romantic was helping me with my kitchen cabinets, so I couldn't show it off there, but I can't wait to share with you guys how I'm going to be decorating my kitchen. So for the next DIY, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree bamboo wreaths and also some of these Dollar Tree florals and a Dollar Tree fern, and then I used 2 stems of the Dollar Tree grass and also 2 to 3 to 4 stems of tulips, depending upon how many you have on hand and how many you want to use. Now I did pick up my tulips at Michael's for $1.99. I'm just going to go ahead and pop some of these pieces of grass to lay down my base on either side of my wreath. I'm not using a whole lot of hot glue for the floral stems because the bamboo wreath is really tight, and so you can just kind of push them down. Now if this was going to be outside, I would definitely suggest to use some hot glue, but this is going to most likely be in my kitchen, so no worries there. Now I'm going to continue to add in some tulips. I'm just clipping them off with these wire cutters. I stole them from Mr. Romantic's toolbox, and I'm just going to push them in to the base of the wreath. So I have the greenery, and then I have some of the pretty Dollar Tree kind of longer strand flowers. Comment and let me know what you guys know what those are called. I cannot remember for the life of me. It slipped my mind. So here it is with the tulips, and I just continue to add white and yellow flowers, and I also did add in some pops of some lime green tulips. I really wanted to have this springtime sunshine cheer, and I want to be able to change the bow out. So, you know, if I want to do if I want to do a spring bow, an Easter bow, a summer bow, I have the options. Now I decided to add in some pops of lavender just to give it a little bit more dimension. I believe I got this lavender last year at Walmart for $1, $2. It was super cheap. Now I'm going to make a really quick little Olivia bow. I'm just taking the ribbon and I'm looping it over on itself. I did find this gingham ribbon at Michael's. I used my half off coupon, so I got a pretty good deal. It was only a couple of dollars. And then I am cutting the center just barely tiny itty bitty notches, and that will help me fluff my bow. And then I'm just using a pipe cleaner to attach the bow onto the wreath with. I did end up cutting a couple of tails for this bow, and I did a little something different. I kind of took the ends of my ribbon and I ruched them up. The most favorite part of bows for me is definitely the fluffing, so make sure you're going to give your bow a really, really good fluffing. So I have to share with you all that this wreath is actually inspired by my good friend Liz over at Traditions by the Season. She is decorating for spring right now, and she has such a positive, happy spirit. She has such fabulous decor. She just made me want to jump into spring. So Liz, I love you, girl. Go check her out after you're done watching this video. She is so positive and happy and just fun, and she has a fabulous, gorgeous house and is a super talented decorator. So now I'm just adding in some of those Dollar Tree speckled eggs. I just popped them on to a little piece of greenery wire and then added some hot glue, and they pop perfectly into a wreath. I did add in a couple of more tulips and a little bit of some striped ribbon. Again, I had this left over from Christmas. It needed to go to good use. So what do you all think about this? Oh my goodness, I think it is the perfect transition. I love the gingham. I love the pops of pastels, and I'm using yellow this year. I usually do not use a whole lot of yellow. I do lemons for the summertime, but I'm really loving how those tulips looked. And I'm telling you, it is the color of sunshine and happiness and joy. And just through these winter months, don't we need a little bit of sunshine and joy? So again, I did that simmering pot. Now, I love fresh lemons. They are so delicious. So just cut up some lemons. You're going to add in some basil, and then you're just going to heat up some water on your stove, and you can add really any spice that you have in your cabinet. I'm just using this thyme. It's a poultry seasoning, and it is going to make your house smell so amazing. Oh my goodness. And we're stuck inside right now. This is January. So we're stuck inside right now, and it's just so nice to begin to tidy up and do some crafts that are cheerful, and also make like a simmering pot or do some essential oils or a candle, just to make you feel that extra bit of cozy. And also I found this Cozy Vibes Happy Heart. This was actually last autumn that I found this candle, but I thought it was just so cute and fun to add into this video. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take 2 of the Dollar Tree love signs and then some of that pretty black and white Dollar Tree contact paper, and I'm just going to take the love signs and I'm going to just kind of mark it out a little bit bigger than the actual sign, and then go ahead and cut it to fit your sign. What I want to make is a wall decor piece for my kitchen. I had the love signs ready to go for Valentine's Day, but I need to have something for after Valentine's Day, and I am going to take the contact paper and put it on the other side. That way I can still reuse my love sign next year if I want to. To add these galvanized metal hearts that came off of some other Dollar Tree Valentine's Day signs. This was as fancy as these little signs got. I'm going to share with you guys where I use them in my kitchen. I actually kind of tried them out and I felt like they might need a little bit something more. So I may look for a frame or something, or I may add a floral or a bow to the top of them. But I've been working so hard on getting my kitchen decluttered and organized. And I've been sharing little blips of that on my Instagram story. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to make a lemon-inspired little 3-tiered stand. So I'm going to take some of this white paint I found at Walmart and 2 of the Dollar Tree candlesticks and then some of these Dollar Tree lemon plates. Now I'm not going to use E6000, which I usually do, but where I'm hot gluing, you can add some dabs of E6000 if you want this to be permanent. I don't want these to be permanent because I may want to do a tablescape with my lemon plates. So I am just going to go ahead and add some more hot glue. I'm just hot gluing this to the top of here. Now, if you're just only going to use hot glue and not make it permanent, you do need to be careful how much weight you put on this because it isn't going to be super sturdy. So again, use the E6000 and hot glue combination if you're going to make a permanent one. But if you just want to play around and have some fun and create some new decor and then you get the itch to switch, you can always take it apart with just the hot glue. Just a little note there. And so here is how it came out. I put a candle on top and then added some green moss goodies, some lemons, just some little fun things to kind of say hello spring. I had these pretty burlap rosettes that I got at burlapfabric.com. I do have a new code, by the way, if you guys need burlap goodies. It is Olivia Spring. I'll link it down below for you guys if you're interested in that. And then here is just a really peaceful, cozy candle popped on top of this. I added a couple Dollar Tree speckled eggs. So fun and oh so fabulous. Oh my goodness. So what is your favorite thing to do in the month of January? Comment and let me know. What is your favorite way to give yourself a lift? Do you pop in some bright and sunny decor? Do you have a favorite drink? I just love to hear what you guys are up to during these winter months. It has not been cold enough to snow, but it's been so close where I'm at. We've just gotten like some little trickles of snow, but it's just not quite there yet. So this lemon sunshine decor definitely was bringing that fun, cozy vibe and really lifting my spirits. I'll tell you what, because honestly, it's been raining here for probably 3 or 4 days straight. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all another wreath idea. And this is going to be a little bit simpler, something you can reuse some of your scraps with. So I'm just taking this Dollar Tree styrofoam wreath base, and then I'm using some burlap. Again, I get this at burlapfabric.com. Olivia Spring is your new code for the $5 off. So I'm just going to take some of that Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon and I'm going to make a quick Olivia bow. I have a huge bow video that has all kinds of different bows if you guys need help making bows. And so you're just going to take the ribbon, loop it over on itself 6 times, and then I'm taking the excess ribbon and I'm going to add some tails to it. Of course, this is totally optional, but you guys know me. Just add that little extra touch and call it fabulous and good. And so I'm just going to take a bit of ribbon and tie this all together. I did trim down the tails just a bit. They were a little bit too long, but I'm just using some regular ribbon to kind of knot it together here. No wire required or hot glue for that matter on the bow at least. So go ahead and add your bow, and then as always I suggest give it a nice good fluffing. And then once you have that done, you can take those cotton stems, if you used cotton stems in our first project that we had left over, and I'm just going to pop them in and around this wreath. I've always wanted to do a cotton stem wreath, but I'm kind of a little bit more of a fancy extra girl, and so I just didn't want to use the cotton stems, so this bow was definitely up my alley. Comment and let me know if you guys love big bows. And then I decided I needed some greenery. It just wasn't enough, so we had to add just a little bit extra, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm adding in this greenery. I think I got this greenery actually at Michael's, and oh my goodness, oh so fabulous. As always, I ask that you all comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. Are you ready to start crafting for spring and Easter? I know I have the majority of all of my Valentine's Day decor crafts done. My house is all decorated for Valentine's Day. I will be giving you guys some peeks around and some different decor that I have done for that. But now it's time to start working on spring and Easter crafts, so I'm ready to decorate after the Valentine's Day season is over. And also, what is your favorite delicious yummy treat that makes your tummy feel so cozy during these winter months? For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this adorable Dollar Tree Easter basket and this canvas pillow. You can find them at Walmart, or just use any kind of pillow that you want to create a little bunny on. And I'm just going to cut out the base of the Easter basket, and then I'm also going to very carefully cut the ears off. And you're going to want to go ahead and cut the entire face of the bunny out. So I'm just taking my scissors, and you're going to want to use some rather sharp scissors because the bunny basket is a little bit thick, and you're just going to cut out the bunny face. I also wanted to go ahead and cut the little lip off the top and the base. That way my little bunny picture would sit a little bit more flush with the actual pillow. You could even trim it out if you wanted to. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun. You could also use fabric glue, but this is what I had on hand. And I'm going to go ahead and hot glue my adorable little bunny face to the front of my pillow. And then I'm going to take my ears and I'm going to reattach the ears. This is so adorable. I just kind of thought of this craft super fast, and I was so excited with how it came out. So I'm gluing the bunny ears at the base, and then also add a little dab of hot glue at the top. That way that they stay on there. Now I'm taking the handle and I'm repurposing it because I want to give my bunny a cute little bow. You know me, I have to go a little extra. And so I'm just going to pinch this handle part together, and then I added some hot glue. Again, you guys get creative with this. You could add more bows, roses, ribbon, whatever you want to do to really razzle dazzle up your adorable bunny pillow. I also want to make a matching one of these in pink because Dollar Tree is carrying the pink bunny Easter baskets. And actually these Easter baskets were supposed to go for my kiddos, so I'm going to have to go back to Dollar Tree. You guys know I check back a lot, and pick up some more Easter baskets. And don't worry, they are teenagers. So I think I may even have some extra Easter baskets left over from last season. I still have to get my Easter goodies down. So I'm just hot gluing my little bunny bow tie. And then I added an extra cute little bow here. I got this ribbon, I believe from burlapfabric.com, but any ribbon will do. And oh my goodness, how adorable is this? So I popped it in to my little Easter setup here. So today I am just beginning to create Easter DIYs, and I'm going to share with you guys how I incorporate all of this into my house. But how adorable is this setup? So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these love signs, and I just popped the little silver tin off of it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and sandpaper that front part off, and then I want to go ahead and chalk paint these. So I'm going to be using some Kilns chalk paint. You can use pretty much any chalk paint. The Waverly chalk paint is also awesome. And I did use actually 4 coats to completely cover my love sign. So now that I've given my little signs a chance to dry, I'm just going to go ahead and mix up a little bit of black paint and then some white paint, and pretty much any craft paint will do. This is some of the white paint from Dollar Tree. It's not bad for using for crafts, but for full coverage it might not be the best option. And then I'm just going to dab this little sponge in and mix kind of a little bit of a black and white. I love the Dollar Tree love signs because they have these little grooves in them, so you can really easily distress them and make them look kind of farmhouse chic. So I'm just doing that with a little bit of the black paint paint, and you can go over them really with any color. If you wanted more of a brown look, you could use some brown paint. You could add back in some white, but I really wanted this just kind of to look like barnwood distress, and I think it looks so adorable. Now I'm taking some popsicle sticks and I'm going to hot glue them to the back of my sign so my sign will stay together. Now this sign is going to remain inside, so the popsicle sticks will work perfectly just to kind of keep it held together. I'm also going to add the little pink truck sign, and this is how your sign should look. So the little pink truck sign is super adorable. They also have a little blue truck that's for Easter, and if you can't find this truck, you could always paint one of the little red truck signs that Dollar Tree had out from Christmas if you happen to grab that. They even had one out for Valentine's Day. You could make it into an Easter truck super easy. So I'm just adding a generous amount of hot glue and then also some E6000 glue. The sign was a little tatty bit kind of warped, so I did have to kind of bend it back together, and I'm adding the E6000 glue so it will stay permanently, and then the hot glue so it will stay temporarily to give the E6000 glue some time to dry. Hot glue would work actually probably fine too, but I really wanted this sign to be permanent and hold really well, so that is why I'm using both glue types. And oh my goodness, how adorable is this? The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go back in with some little bling jewels to cover up the little holes you can see in the egg and then in the wheels. And here it is. Oh my goodness, you guys, honestly, truly, this is one of my favorite, absolute favorite round of DIYs I think I have ever done. And I think that almost about every round of DIYs, but this one truly is a gem for me. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I grabbed 2 bundles of dark pink roses, 2 bundles of light pink roses, and 2 bundles of the cream colored roses. And then you're just going to take this little Dollar Tree bunny head and you're going to pop the eyes and the nose and the mouth off. And then I'm going to pop my roses off of the ends. So I've seen these wreaths on the Pier 1 website. I believe they have some similar to the Pottery Barn website. They're so expensive for these high-end beautiful wreaths that have Easter flowers all over them, but we are going to dupe this with Dollar Tree supplies. So what I wanted to do was just kind of take my roses and arrange them to where I thought that they were beautiful. You could do all kinds of different combinations here. You could do an ombre effect. I decided to go ahead and take my white roses and move them up the bunny ears and then cascade my pink roses in a downward motion. And then once you have your template all laid out for where you want your roses to be, you're just going to start hot gluing them on to your little wreath form. So they're going to kind of hot glue onto the tinsel and also each other. Also, if you get any hot glue on your roses, they're really easy to trim off with some scissors. So you can see I'm adding a generous amount of hot glue and then just continuing to glue your roses on. And oh my goodness, how fun is this? So I decided to use the cream colored roses so they would look more like the bunny ears, and I also decided to use the hot pink roses because this is actually what I had left over from Valentine's Day. So also check your Valentine's Day floral stash. Another thing I think would be cute if you wanted to do this in tulips, I think that would be super adorable. Honestly, you could choose peonies, tulips, roses, whatever suits your fancy. I have seen so many different beautiful florals out at Dollar Tree, and so I was just so excited to find a way to dupe this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous spring Easter wreath.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you.
So once I had all of my roses on, I did go back in with these really pretty greenery pieces. They seem kind of like a succulent, but they're not. They're a greenery piece that I picked up at Michael's, and for the life of me, I really can't remember what they are, but you could use lamb's ear, you could use all different types of greenery. I'm just hot gluing them in between the roses, and here is how it looks all finished and beautiful and ready to roll. And I actually did have to use a couple of tulips at the base. So total for this wreath, I used 6 bundles of florals and then the little Easter bunny tinsel head. Again, I left the tinsel on and just removed the little eyes and nose, but I think it's looking so spring fabulous and oh so ready for a really darling Easter. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these cute little pink plastic plates and these 2 Dollar Tree candlesticks. I had painted them with just some inexpensive spray paint. I'm going to use my E6000 glue, and I want to make a really beautiful pretty and pink Easter 3-tiered tray. So I'm taking the E6000 glue and I'm just running it over the base of the candle, and then I'm going back in with the hot glue, and that's going to make sure that it holds immediately, and then the E6000 glue will hold long term. So these plates are actually from Tuesday morning, and they're left over from my son's girlfriend Skylar. She had a birthday party and she did a really beautiful pink theme, and so I had these in my stash and I wanted to go ahead and use them. You guys can pick up pretty much any pink party plate, and I will tell you that I saw some pink dishes out at Walmart that were plastic, and I believe they were only 50 cents each. So definitely check out your local stores. Dollar Tree does have pink plates, but they are paper plates, so you could do a 3-tiered tray. It just might be a bit awkward with glass and the cardboard together. You could also possibly maybe take the cardboard and Mod Podge them to make them a little bit sturdier. I will let you know how this holds up, seeing that these are plastic plates, but I'm going to go ahead and add the second tier here, and you guys can see I'm kind of cleaning up my goopy mess. It can be a little bit messy working with the 2 different types of glue, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it up with the E6000 on the top and then that hot glue. This is going to make sure that it really stays really well. I want to use this possibly next to my coffee bar or in my kitchen and put some really darling little Easter eggs and little faux cakes or maybe some coffee cups. But oh my goodness, comment and let me know if you all are excited to decorate for Easter. I really feel like Easter is definitely one of my most favorite holidays to decorate for, so I will be sharing with you all so many DIY projects. My brain is just bursting with ideas to share with you all, and I'm hoping that I have enough time to get them all out. So definitely be checking back because I'm gonna have so many fun and fabulous Easter DIYs. And I also like to share with you all different themes. So I'll do some more girly, kind of pink and shabby chic like this theme, and then I'll do more farmhouse and neutrals. I'll go for some lemon yellows. You just never know. I like to surprise you and really mix things up. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking this DAP patch and paint. It's you can find this at Dollar Tree, but I get the larger brand, and it's just spackling. It's something that you would use to patch your walls or whatnot, but I'm going to use it to make a faux cake. So I'm just taking this little green piece of foam, and then Dollar Tree has these little craft tools that are really great to spread your spackling on, and you're just going to go ahead and spread it in and around your piece of foam. And this part you might want to be kind of patient with yourself because the spackling can be a bit tricky to work with sometimes. I've had some of you all tell me also that if I add a little bit of water to my spackling, that'll help make it a little bit easier to smooth. I am getting to the bottom of this. I've actually been using it since last year, so this large tub goes a really long way. So now that I have all of my frosting on for my faux cake, I'm just going to pop this little Dollar Tree Peep. This isn't a real Peep. This is just a fake Peep. I did add some hot glue, although I'm not sure that that was really necessary because a lot of times the spackling will be like an automatic glue. And then I'm also taking these little pink straws that I found at the Target dollar spot, and I'm making some kind of pretty and pink edging around my cake. And then I'm just taking some of that Dollar Tree baby's breath, and I'm just going to pop some in to the edges of my cake to make it appear a little bit more realistic. It would also be really cute to use some roses. And then last but not least, I decided that my bunny needed some grass to play in. And so she is going to get some Dollar Tree onion grass. This was a little bit tedious because I did cut a lot of really tiny pieces of grass, and the grass held up really well. I just popped it directly into the spackling, and look at how adorable this is. Oh my goodness. Who cannot resist a super cute Easter Peep cake? And the best part is it's totally calorie and fat free. Just make sure your little ones don't get into it because it does look actually really realistic. So comment and let me know if this is your first time making a faux cake. I've shared so many different faux cakes with you all on my channel, but this one is definitely by far one of my favorite. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, grab one of those Dollar Tree just clear vases and then some of those Dollar Tree speckled eggs, and you're just going to want to go ahead and pop some speckled eggs into the base of your glass vase. And then I'm using some of the Dollar Tree Peeps. I'm just pulling them off their little stick, and I'm going to go ahead and create a floral arrangement down inside of this. So I just thought this would be a fun, creative way to do a floral arrangement instead of using foam or grass down in the bottom. This is so fun and decorative. And so then you can just go ahead and start using whatever florals that you love. I shared all of my Easter goodies that I'm using in my upcoming DIYs in my last Dollar Tree haul. I'll definitely link it in my I Love Spring playlist, but I found these beautiful lilacs and onion grass, and I did get the tulips at Michael's. They're $1.99 for a bundle. Dollar Tree does carry tulips, but I kind of like these mini sizes better for this smaller arrangement. So I just continued to pop in more little florals. Again, use whatever colors are suiting your fancy and that you're decorating with for Easter. You guys know I love the pastel aesthetic, so Easter is definitely my jam. Comment and let me know what you all think about this and what colors would you all be using for Easter. I love to hear how you all are decorating because it gives me so many different ideas and inspirations on themes that I might want to try for my upcoming DIYs to share with you all. So here it is all together, the adorable bunny pillow, the cute little vase with the eggs, the 3-tiered Easter tray. How fun and fabulous. Oh my goodness, the delicious little delightful bunny cake, that super cute, very trendy Happy Easter sign in the background. And as always, I ask that you all comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video. To be totally honest with you, I'm not sure that I could choose one. I really am completely crushing on and in love with all of these. This little Easter wreath was so fun and easy, and it only cost me about $7 or $8 to make. It was so great. Oh my goodness. So I think this really looks cute. And again, I am going to be making another bunny pillow to go with that first one. It's just so adorable. I can't resist it. And Easter pillows are so expensive at the store. So I was super excited to figure out a way to create one without spending a lot of money. So thank you all for joining me. As always, I just love hanging out with you all, and I love hearing your comments and what you're up to and how you're decorating and what your favorite DIY was in this series. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a super adorable French farmhouse faux enamel tub. So I'm going to take this cute little graphic that I found on graphicsfairy.com. It has some French lettering and also a lamb. I will leave a link to graphicsfairy.com down below, and I'm going to just cut it out, and then I'm taking this plastic bin from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take some Mod Podge and put a generous layer of Mod Podge. And actually, I got a little bit too much here, you guys. I did end up kind of going in and around though the entire thing and getting it really glued on really well. So once I had a layer of Mod Podge applied, I went ahead and put my little French farmhouse sticker on the front, and I got it nice and smoothed on. And then I just took another layer of Mod Podge and went in with some Mod Podge on the front. Now you can see that my little lamb is missing part of its kind of face and body there. My printer was a bit low on ink, so I decided just to go ahead and fill it in with a little bit of Sharpie, and then I blended it with some paint. And this is such an adorable little DIY, and it is so fun and inexpensive. So how cute is this looking? I then decided to take some black paint, and this is just regular crafter paint, and then I'm using this little crafting sponge, and I'm going around the handle and the side of my little faux enamel tub to kind of make it look like it was aged. Back in my flea market days, I was always finding old enamelware, and I thought it just looked so fun and French country chic. So that's what I wanted to create with this darling little tub here. I'm definitely going to be using this in my kitchen decor just for extra storage. I've been doing so much organizing. I really wanted to have something super cute to be able to store some of my extra goodies in. So again, I'm just taking that sponge, and I'm also going in around the base of my little faux enamel tub. Think about doing the edges and the handles and the base, all of the places that normally an old kind of antique place would appear to be aged. I even did a little bit on the inside to kind of make it really nice and cohesive. And here it is in my little French farmhouse chic setup. Oh my goodness. So I popped this darling little pillow that we're going to make in this tub and some faux lavender. And then we're going to create this really adorable little banner. And oh my goodness, this is just so fun and fabulous. I'm so ready for some spring decorating, and I love to do fabulous items on a budget. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these cute little wooden chick cutouts, and I'm taking this wrapping paper that I had left over from Christmas, and I'm going to trace around the little chick, and then I'm going to cut it out. You can also find some buffalo check plaid paper at Hobby Lobby for $1/4 a sheet, and then I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, and I'm going to Mod Podge the front of my little chick, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add the little piece of paper. Think you guys could use pretty much any little piece of scrap paper you have laying around, but this is going to be so adorable. I really think the French farmhouse theme definitely has to have that little bit of buffalo check plaid, and I did get this wrapping paper on clearance at Target at the end of the season. So I added just a cute little jute twine bow, and then I just strung the little chicks on a piece of jute twine, and they're kind of hanging out of my little faux enamel tin. Eventually though, I am going to use these in my kitchen for my Easter decor, and I think they're fun because I can use them even past Easter. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, you're going to need one of these Dollar Tree glass bottles, and I just spray painted my bottle with some regular spray paint, and then I printed out these French graphics, again from graphicfairy.com. They are so amazing. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add some Mod Podge to the back of my little graphic label. You could really pick any label you wanted, but I definitely wanted to use some of these French sayings. If you just type in French farmhouse on graphicfairy.com, it'll give you guys all kinds of different graphics that you can choose from. And then I'm going to take some of that same black paint that we used on the first project, and I'm going to dab my little sponge into it. Now, when you apply the paint in these projects, you want to kind of just have a tiny bit of paint on your sponge. So definitely dab it off on your plate before you get to going. But I love this jar, or this bottle actually. It's from Dollar Tree, and once it's painted and then you're going back over it with this black paint, you can really see the beautiful detail on this. This is the first time I've actually done this type of project on this jar, and I was so impressed with the detail work with it. Oh my goodness, the sky is the limit. I really went to town distressing it and aging it, and I feel like this is something you would see at Hobby Lobby for much more. Now I'm taking some of that Dollar Tree jute twine. I wanted to let you all know that you can find their jute twine in the automotive section, and it comes 3 rolls to a pack, so you get so much bang for your buck. But I'm just wrapping some jute twine around this little project, and then I'm going to tie a shoelace bow in the front. This is super easy. You just tie a bow like you're tying your shoelace, but not hard at all. And then I'm going to add some of these cute little burlap rosettes. You can make these with some burlap, burlap, or I just ordered some off of burlapfabric.com. Super easy. And then I'm going to make a smaller one to kind of go in and around that same little spot. And I'm adhering it to the jute twine with some hot glue. How fun and fabulous is this? And I just used the little beaded garland that's hanging off of it. That was at Dollar General this season, so check that out. But you guys can pretty much find those anywhere. You can also DIY them. And I also just use this beautiful little striped kind of tablecloth piece. It's actually just a piece of fabric, but you could definitely make it into a tablecloth, and you can find that at burlapfabric.com. They also have that same pattern at Walmart. So here it is, all perfect and ready for a French farmhouse chic theme. I am definitely digging this. I think this is going to be so great to use in my kitchen. I'm using a lot of black and white in my kitchen with some pops of red, but I definitely feel like for spring, my pops of color are going to be purple. Comment and let me know if you guys use a bit of purple in your spring decor. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take some of this craft paper and then some of this wrapping paper, and I'm going to double layer these together. What I want to create is a really cute little fresh French farmhouse springtime bouquet. So I'm just cutting this off, and then I want to go ahead and take some of the Dollar Tree onion grass and some of the Dollar Tree lilacs. You could also use some lavender. They have lavender at Dollar Tree or at Walmart. And then I'm just going to gently wrap my paper around my little bundle of flowers. I know it would be so nice to have a fresh flower bouquet, but I even think I love this bouquet more because it's real and it will stay fresh pretty much forever. So I'm just going to take this scrap piece of black ribbon and I'm going to tie it around my little bouquet. I'm going to just knot it here. Super easy. This isn't hard at all. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut an upward triangle to dovetail my ends. That's going to give you that really beautiful boutique finish. And I think this is so gorgeous on a budget. You would definitely find this at HomeGoods or TJ Maxx for much, much more. Check your local Dollar Tree for some faux flowers. I think bundling the same flower together gives it more of a high-end look. So taking the onion grass and putting that in the back. And then I believe I used 3 bundles of lilacs, and I ended up also popping some faux lavender into this. And then I'm just taking the Dollar Tree jute twine and also one of those cute little French farmhouse labels that I printed out. I punched a hole in the front, and then I'm just going to string my little jute twine through here, and it looks like it is somewhat handmade, but also kind of fabulous, like maybe you got it from a boutique store or a fresh farmer's market, which I absolutely adore. So fun and absolutely fabulous, you guys. Definitely, what are you thinking about this? Do you do a French farmhouse chic theme or French country or any type of farmhouse? I feel like there's so many different ways you could spin the farmhouse look, whether it be modern or French farmhouse or farmhouse chic or French country. I think it's so fun though, just to add those little touches of country into the decor. It really gives my decor that homey feeling, but I like to add kind of a French chic spin on it. So here it is all together. I am so in love with these projects. What do you guys think about these? I'm definitely loving that nice spring flair with the pops of buffalo check and the blacks and whites. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree plastic basket, and then I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree black and white rose contact paper, and I just traced it to the base of the basket because I want to take the contact paper and line the inside of the basket. So you just cut your contact paper out, which I love the contact paper. It's super easy to use because it has already made lines. So you'll just peel the back off, pop it into the base of your basket. And then I decided I actually wanted to cover the basket with this ribbon. They have burlap ribbon in this color at Dollar Tree. This was actually some ribbon that I bought on a super deep discount clearance at the Michael's After Christmas sale. So I was super excited to get this. And I'm just hot gluing some dabs of hot glue around the top edge and then also around the base of this to just go ahead and cover this entire thing. Again, I wanted to give it that French farmhouse chic flair, so I felt like adding the burlap was super cute, but honestly, this basket is so adorable you could almost leave it as is. And then I decided to go ahead and add one more layer of ribbon on the top. So I'm just going to take and fold 1/2 of the ribbon on top of this side, run my hot glue down this, and so I'm going to hot glue here, and then I'm going to fold my ribbon over and hot glue on the inside. Be careful not to burn yourself, but this is so fun and fabulous, and I think this makes a great tray that you can set out in the center of your table or at your coffee bar, or maybe next to your bedside table with some tissues and a candle, or whatever suits your fancy. I just think this is so sweet, and it really gives it that high-end look by adding this extra piece of fabric. I decided to add my beautiful lilac bouquet, a bit of greenery, and some of those beads. I felt like that made it just look really nice, and I don't think you would ever guess any of these items are from the Dollar Tree. I think they're just looking so high-end and chic and absolutely gorgeous and making me so ready to decorate for spring. So comment and let me know, have you already started your spring decorating yet? I would love to know. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this little dish drying mat. It's in black that you can get from Dollar Tree. And Dollar Tree also carries these little black and white towels. They come 2 to a pack, and both of these items are going to be in your Dollar Tree kitchen section. What I want to do is create a little throw pillow, and I'm going to do this just by hot gluing 3 edges of these fabrics together. So I'm starting with this long edge of the fabric. So you're just going to run your hot glue down the edge. You could also use fabric glue, and if you're a seamstress or you have a sewing machine, which I do not, you could sew this, which would be great, but I love the instant results of hot gluing, and since this is just kind of a fun little throw pillow, I'm going to use in my decor. It's not that big of a deal. So you're going to continue on with that. And then once you're finished, you can stuff it with some fabric, hot glue the last end together. Don't forget to flip your pillow inside out. And normally I would share that with you guys, but the footage on the rest of that ended up being a little bit not so great. So here it is all finished and popped into this black and white decor. Don't forget to turn those edges inside out, but look at how finished it looks. I just really love that. I love how it's tying in with all of these beautiful blacks and whites. So as always, I ask you all, please comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video. I love to hear what your thoughts are on my projects, especially because it helps me know what you would like me to create next. And if you have any requests, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in your new spring and Easter decor. Also, this is part of my new I Love Spring series. I'm going to link the playlist for the rest of the series down below. You'll definitely have to go check out those videos. I've done a ton of Dollar Tree DIYs, and I am so excited to share more with you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Y'all are just pretty much simply the best. And I have to tell you, I love you. Thank you for being here. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this really cute blessed sign I picked up at Dollar Tree. It's actually a placemat, and I found this frame at the thrift store and it was matted, and so I'm just taking the matting and I'm marking it out the size that I want to cut the blessed placemat out, and then I'm just going to tape the placemat to the back of the matting and then place it back into the picture frame. And this is so gorgeous and fun and easy, and I have this beautiful new blessed sign. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make some super adorable buffalo check plaid carrots. So I have been seeing these at Hobby Lobby and they are so adorable. I decided to make some mini versions. I'm taking this buffalo check plaid fabric that I found at Walmart and then the little Dollar Tree mini carrot, and I'm going to add a dab of hot glue to the base of it. And then I'm also going to remove the stem from the carrot. The carrot is just actually made out of styrofoam. So you can almost do these like we did our styrofoam pumpkins. versions where you just wrap the fabric around them and then push the excess fabric back down into the top. These are so fun and adorable to make. I actually do plan on making some larger versions of these. I've seen them floating around everywhere. Buffalo check plaid is definitely hotter than ever for the spring season. I think it's really fun because it mixes so well in with pastels, which you guys are going to see later in this video how we're going to mix in our pastels. So be careful if you use scissors, but I just took my pair of scissors and I poked the fabric down into there, and then you have your little carrot, and then you can add some hot glue or push your little stem back into the top of it. Now some of them that I did, the stems didn't remove super well, so if they don't, you can just always use the greenery part. But look at how adorable this is. Oh my goodness, a buffalo check farmhouse chic mini carrot. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create some beautiful dolled up napkin rings. So I bought this set of napkin rings at Dollar Tree, and then I'm adding this beautiful burlap rosette. You could make these with some Dollar Tree ribbon, but I got mine off of burlapfabric.com. I'll leave a link below as well as my coupon code Olivia Spring for $5 off. So here's an idea for how to set a table place setting. You can use a Dollar Tree placemat like this green one, and then a silver charger, a couple of pretty plates, and then your little napkin ring. You could also use one of the Dollar Tree bamboo placemats, and that would give it just a little bit of a different style. So for the next DIY, I want to take some of these beautiful bling jewels. I get my bling jewels from totallydazzled.com. They have a packet of mixed jewels for only $15. I'll also leave that link below as well. So I'm just gluing this on with a dab of hot glue and then some E6000 to give it a little bit of extra hold. And then here's an idea for your bling jewel table setting, to use the Dollar Tree gold charger and then some white dishes. These white dishes I believe were from JCPenney, but you guys know me, I got them at the thrift store. You better believe it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys this Margarita glass vase. I took a Dollar Tree Margarita glass, flipped it over, added some E6000 glue, which you can get at Walmart, and also some hot glue. So the hot glue makes it stay quickly, and the E6000 is glass glue. And then I did take some of this chalk paint, and I did have to use 4 coats of chalk paint. Now, I really love the Waverly chalk paint that's in the craft section, but my Walmart was out, so I checked the regular paint section. I found this Kilns chalk paint. It works pretty good. I do feel like it's a little bit thin. I do like the Waverly chalk paint just a little bit better. So comment and let me know if you guys use chalk paint. What is your favorite? So I chalk painted my little vase to give it that fresh springtime farmhouse chic. I put some foam down into the center of it from Dollar Tree, and then I'm taking some of these Dollar Tree flowers. I used roses, the onion grass, and some of these pretty little lilacs, and then some other varieties of white flowers. I always start my arrangements with the tallest florals in the center. So I like to add some greenery and then also my tallest florals. And then you guys get creative. I really wanted this floral to feel like it was a blooming spring floral. So I added in some roses and some beautiful soft purple lilacs. Oh my goodness, I have purple irises in my front yard that bloom, so I'm really doing some spring dreaming. Comment and let me know if it's super cold where you're at and you're doing a lot of spring dreaming like me. Decided to add a bundle of tulips to the center part. These are just some lime green tulips. They are $1.99 at Michael's right now for the little bundle. And I feel like this really made things pop against the whites and creams and purple. I did add some of the little Dollar Tree yellow florals. They're kind of beautiful because they'll cascade down over your arrangement. Now it's time to make a fun little bow. So I'm using these two Dollar Tree ribbons. One says Happy Easter and one is a little check pattern. I'm also using this buffalo check plaid ribbon. Yes, it matches my shirt. Oh my goodness. And this pretty burlap ribbon with the bit of lace. I'm stretching my ribbon out and it measures about 16 to 18 inches long. I'm going to create a funky bow, which the original creator of the funky bow is Julie Samako from Southern Charm Wreaths. You'll have to go check her out. I just absolutely adore her. But I'm just going to take and cut my ribbon off here, and then to dovetail your ends to give it that nice boutique finish, you can just fold it in half and cut upwards and make a cute little triangle in your ribbon. And that's a little tip. And so now that I've done all the little triangles in my ribbon, I'm just going to go ahead and fold them over and pinch them in the center. And I have my own take on the bow making process, so you guys have at it whatever suits your fancy. So I'm adding the pastel check, the buffalo check, and then the pretty little Happy Easter, and then this pretty little lace ribbon. So this, I'm just going to take a little twist tie here and twist tie it. You could use wire, a pipe cleaner, a zip tie, whatever suits your fancy and whatever you have on hand. And then you'll just pull your little loops out, kind of give them a nice good fluffing, and then you can tie them on to a little spot on your floral, whether it be on the floral stem, or you could pop it on with a shish kebab, or just a dab of hot glue will work as well. And here it is. Oh my goodness. Can you guys believe how wonderful and inexpensive this arrangement is? I don't think anybody would know that the base is a Margarita glass from Dollar Tree and a Dollar Tree vase that we painted. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create a beautiful springtime wreath. So I'm taking the leftover florals from my floral arrangement and I'm starting with the onion grass. Now this wreath base is a grapevine wreath base. I did pick it up from Walmart. It was about $5. My Dollar Tree does not have any grapevine wreath bases, and I really wanted to make a wreath for you guys, so I just went ahead and spent a little bit extra to get started on this project. I'm adding hot glue to the tips of these florals. It's really not necessary if your wreath is going to be inside, but this one may go outside of my front door, so I did want to secure the stems just a little bit better by adding some dabs of hot glue. A good tip for you on a spring wreath like this is to add a couple of florals to the top and then kind of stagger them and then add a couple of florals to the bottom. So if I add 2 or 3 roses up here on the top, I'm going to add 2 or 3 blooming roses from the bottom. So you guys can see there's a couple going upwards and then a couple going downwards, and then I'm going to add a bow to the center. Now get creative with this. This doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You guys can just buy a couple of floral stems, or if you guys like to go a little extra like me, you might want to buy a couple of bundles. And now it's time to make the bow for our wreath. I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm just going to loop it over on itself. This is the remaining ribbon that I had left over from a couple of floral projects I've been working on. So I just looped it over on itself a couple of times, and then I'm going to cut a very, very tiny knot on either side of my ribbon. Very, very tiny. You don't want your ribbon to fall apart. And then I'm going to take the pipe cleaner and I'm going to twist tie it into the center. I'm going to leave my huge bow video for you all down below. It was a Christmas video, but all you have to do is change out the ribbon colors. But it has a detailed explanation of several different styles of bows. This is what I call the Olivia bow. So I'm going to take, again, the buffalo check plaid ribbon and take the ribbon and loop it over on itself several times. I like to do that about 6 times for the fullest part of my bow. This was the longest piece of ribbon, and really I'm just using scraps on this. So I'm just looping it over on itself until I get to the point where the ribbon is out. And then I'm just going to take and give it a little bit of fluffing, but I don't actually completely fluff my bows when I'm putting them on the wreath until I actually get them on the wreath. So again, I'm using the rest of this ribbon. I'm just going to loop it over on itself several times until I get to the end of the ribbon and I have a tail down there at the base. So I just leave a tail out, and again, I'm going to notch it in the center and tie it together with the pipe cleaner. And then I'm going to go ahead and notch it right here. Remember, tiny notches, you guys, because your ribbon will fall apart if you notch too far. And then once you have that all done, just simply add it into this center part by twist tying it on. And then you can give your bow a really good fluffing. Oh my goodness, that is definitely the secret to your bows, is all the fluffy duffying around. And trust me when I tell you that I fluff my bow for quite some time before I finally am happy with it. So if you don't like it the first time, fluff it. If you don't like the second time, fluff it some more. I love big bows and I cannot lie. That's for sure, you guys. Oh my goodness. I really am crushing on these pastels and the buffalo check plaid. I really feel like it makes it pop and it gives it that fun, clean farmhouse chic flair. And here it is in all of its glory. Comment and let me know what you all think about this. I am getting so excited for Easter, and just this blessed sign makes me think about counting my blessings. Springtime is such a wonderful season of renewal, and spring, I feel like, is just this time for fresh beginnings. I think we all need a fresh beginning every single year. I have a couple of little bonus DIYs for you on this video. So you can take one of those Dollar Tree vases and this little Dollar Tree glitter vase filler and add some color to your Easter or your springtime table just by filling up a little vase with these pretty little bowl fillers. I think these are absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, how sweet. And then you can also take some moss and just create like a little cute bird's nest by adding the moss to a small plate, and then your little buffalo check plaid carrots, and then some speckled eggs. And then here it is, the whole setting all together. I really feel like this is the direction I'm going to go with my home. I want to do a French farmhouse chic flair. I want pastels and greenery and spring vibes, but I do want to add in some of that black and white. I think it's really crisp and fresh, and it just gives that nice pop, I feel like, against the pastels. It really helps you see the pastels even that bit more. So as always, I ask you all to comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video. And if you have a favorite, which one will you be recreating, and what colors are you decorating with for spring? It really helps me when you guys comment and let me know what you think about things, so I know which direction to go with future videos. And as always, it is such a blessing and an honor to have you all here. I just can't even tell you how much I love you all so much, and I just want to hug your hearts all so tight. For the first DIY, I am going to share with you guys a really neat trick for creating a really beautiful floral arrangement, and all you'll need is a bowl or a dish to put your floral in. I found this at the thrift store, and you're not going to need any floral foam for this. So this is kind of cool. I did find a couple of bundle of tulips at Michael's craft store. They're half off right now, so they're $1.99. And I'm going to take this packing tape and I'm just going to stretch it over my bowl, and then you can just take your scissors and trim off any excess tape. I used 3 strips of tape on this bowl, and you want to create kind of like a little basket weave. So you're just going to stretch it across one way and then stretch it across the other. And then I'm going to take my bundles of tulips. I used 2 bundles of white tulips, 2 bundles of green tulips, and 2 bundles of the pale pink tulips. You could use more or less depending on the size of your container. So I'm just going to kind of mix the colors together. So I grabbed a bit of white, green, and pink, and then I'm just inserting them into the little spots in the bowl where there's no tape. And so you are going to kind of stack them a little bit more closely where the tape is not. And then this is how it should look about midway through. Just continue to bundle and add some beautiful florals, and then this is what you're going to have. It's going to look like kind of a blooming floral arrangement, which I really love. I want it to look a little bit more realistic, which I feel like this gives it a great realistic look. And think about how much this would cost at a home goods or a home decor store. And really, you just need a couple of bundles of beautiful flowers, a lovely little bowl, which you could always find beautiful bowls at your thrift store. And here you have it. Voila, a beautiful spring floral. And it used absolutely no styrofoam at all, which is another super big bonus for me. So you can pop these tulips out and use roses. I know they sell bags of roses on Amazon for about $14. You could use roses, tulips, whatever suits your fancy to make this absolutely gorgeous floral arrangement. So for the next DIY, I actually popped into Dollar General to check out what they had for Valentine's Day, and I found this True Love Never Ends sign. I love that. I think Valentine's Day is so beautiful because it's not just a romantic holiday. God loved us first, and so keep that in mind if you're going through any kind of struggle, that God is always there for us, just loving on us. And Dollar Tree has this really cute little polka dot ribbon. I'm just going to tie a quick little shoelace bow, and a shoelace bow is just a bow that you would tie like you were tying your shoelaces. So I took the original little red ribbon off and I added this cute little polka dot ribbon. This stuff is definitely optional. Use whatever ribbon you have in your stash, but I thought it looked really beautiful and sweet. And then, oh my goodness, I have been so excited to try a tulip wreath. I tried one last year, but I found these really beautiful tulips again at Michael's. They're on half off right now. And so for this DIY, we're going to create a beautiful tulip wreath. You're going to need a wire wreath form from Dollar Tree. They're 14 inches. And then some ribbon. This ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. And it's about, I believe it was about 15 foot of ribbon. I found it at a thrift store actually for 50 cents. And then for this wreath, I used 14 bundles of tulip. So I just took and I wrapped the ribbon around about 3 times on my wreath. And then I cut the stem off of my tulip bundle, but I left the tulips attached. And then I'm adding some hot glue. And then you're just going to take your ribbon and wrap it around the base of where you hot glued. So you're going to have hot glue for some security, and then you're just going to wrap it around the stem of your tulip, and you're going to continue to do this on the entire wreath. So you're going to have a really beautiful part underneath your wreath and that kind of peeks through, which I think is really beautiful. So I chose these kind of pale pink tulips and then a darker pink. And so I wanted to alternate every other one. Dollar Tree does have tulips if you can find them, but sometimes they are a bit tricky to find. I'll also try to link some tulips in my Amazon store for you all as well. So I went underneath the first bundle, and then again I added some hot glue, and then I wrapped the ribbon once around the base of those tulips, and I just continued in this same pattern down the entire wreath. Oh my goodness, this is just making my heart sparkle and shine, dreaming of a little bit of spring in the midst of our winter weather. How happy and fun is this?
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it.
So just continue to wrap your tulips as you go. You can also kind of fluff them in and around the wreath, however full you want them. And then if you have any pop off, you can always hot glue them in and around the wreath as well. But look at how beautiful this turns out. Now I did go ahead and flip my wreath over. I'm going to add a little wire hanger on the back of this. So I just used some scissors and I just poked a little hole and I wrapped some of that Dollar Tree wire ribbon, wire around the little spot that you would hang the wreath on to create a hanger. You can also do this really easily with a piece of ribbon. You could even tie a bow at the top if you wanted to. I wanted to just keep this kind of a little bit more natural. I do love bows though, so you guys know me. I may pop a bow into this, and I even think it would be really cute to pop a cute little Easter bunny into here eventually, or maybe even some Valentine's Day hearts. So here is going to be the next floral that we're creating. I'm going to take one of those Dollar Tree little metal containers and I painted it white with some chalk paint, and then I'm just going to pop some floral foam into this. If you want this to be outside, you may want to hot glue the floral foam down, but I did it for this one because I'm not using very heavy flowers, but I am using some Dollar Tree hydrangeas and some wildflowers and some ferns. So this just took a couple of bundle of flowers. This is really a beautiful arrangement on a teeny tiny budget, and these are all Dollar Tree flowers, and then the container again also is from Dollar Tree. So I just adding in a couple of the hydrangeas. I left them a bit long on their stems, and then part of the fern in the center, and then I'm just adding more florals in and around as I go. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm doing this without really quite seeing what I'm doing, so I do have to hold it up and kind of turn it around here and there. There's a mirror across from me. That does help me just a little bit, but I'm kind of doing this floral arrangement blindly. Anyway, comment and let me know, what florals are you using right now? Do you guys like to decorate with artificial flowers in the wintertime just to give yourself a little bit of a lift? I know I do. I really love springtime when the flowers do start coming out, but I'm just that flower girl. I like to have flowers in and around. It just cheers me up so much. So here's how it will look after you kind of pop your wildflowers in with the hydrangeas. And here's just a little bit more of a close-up of it. And then I did go ahead and add in, this was just kind of a mix of spring that I had last year. It's a little bit of moss and a little bit of bowl filler. So I'm just adding it in and around the base of this. And you probably want to add some dabs of hot glue. This is just going to be in my little studio, but if I were to put it outside, I would definitely want to secure the moss a little bit better. But I think it's turning out absolutely gorgeous and so fabulous on a budget.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say
I am just so loving these soft muted colors, and definitely grab those little flower tins at Dollar Tree if you see them. I did myself a favor today too, and I busted out my little Christmas treat, my Dyson vacuum, and tidied up my space. I've also been keeping my favorite Mrs. Meyer's peppermint cleaner on hand to keep my space tidy. I did a tidy up video in my studio for you guys, so definitely check out that video if you need some organizing for your crafts and your home decor. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just going to take one of these Dollar Tree vases and these super realistic roses. They came from Dollar Tree, you guys. These are probably some of the most high quality roses I have ever seen them carry. So I just want to create a dozen roses, and I added some water in. This is just real water. You can change it out over the course of a couple of days if you need to, but I just wanted to give it the effect of it being really realistic roses. I did not snip the ends of these off, so it should just be plastic on the ends. I think they'll be good. And then I added in some Dollar Tree Baby's Breath, and this is such a simple, fun, easy DIY, and it looks like Mr. Romantic has bought me a dozen roses. You just never know. So anyway, I do love real fresh roses, but these are lovely because they're going to stay fresh for a really long time in my little Valentine crafting studio.
We hold each other tight. You're the rose.
So for the next DIY, I'm going to be dazzling up this little bead set. It was from Dollar General. It was only $1. I'm adding one of those Dollar Tree wooden hearts that they sell in the crafting section for Valentine's Day. And then I wanted to pop it into that little Dollar General Love Never Ends tag. Oh my goodness, definitely this time of year is my favorite. So as always, I ask you all to comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. I love to see what you guys are up to and hear what your thoughts are.
You're the leaves in
Okay everyone, here is my bargain shopper outfit of the day. I found this beautiful sweater a couple of years ago. It was on clearance. I believe it read 21. It was about $3 or $4. I have it paired with just some little fleece lined Walmart leggings. I will tell you they're amazingly comfortable. They conceal a lot of the wiggle and jiggle, and they were 2 for $10, I believe, during Black Friday. So I have them paired with my little thrift store boots. It's really cold where I'm at right now, so it's even cold in my studio just a bit, so the sweater was definitely needed. I found these earrings at the thrift store. I do always try to check my thrift store for jewelry that's in nice condition, and then I just have my little thrift store bracelet. So anyway, there you guys have it. This is totally mom comfy. Now I'm kind of just showing these boots for this video because I do have neuropathy in my feet, so I usually favor my boots that have a flat bottom and then have insoles in them. But every once in a while I will wear these out to dress up, and I do think they just look cute sharing outfits of the day with you guys. So anyway, there you guys have it, my little fun bargain shopper outfit of the day.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a super adorable French country floral garden planter wall hanging. So I'm going to take these 2 garden gates from Dollar Tree, and you're going to flip them upside down and then push them up against each other, line them up, and then just take some of that Dollar Tree floral wire, and at the base of each one they'll have little tiny grooves that you can thread the floral wire through, and you want to thread the floral wire through about 5 to 6 times along the base of the garden gate. That way you can have your garden gate be nice and sturdy. You don't want anything flopping off or flying away. So you can see I'm just taking the little piece of wire, threading it through, then flipping it over and twisting it really well on the back, and then just taking some scissors, or you can also use wire cutters to trim it off. And this is how it should look after you have it all secure on there. And then I just want to take these 2 little cute little garden planters. You find these at Dollar Tree as well, and some white spray paint. Now I spray painted these and then ran out of my spray paint, so I just had to use the backup option, and that was going ahead and chalk painting these. I'm going to tell you, this chalk paint that I used, it took about 3 to 4 coats. So either have a lot of spray paint on hand or be very patient with your chalk paint. But once I had it all chalk paint, I was ready to roll. So now that I have everything painted, I'm going to go ahead and use this little craft knife and just push holes into the top part of my little planter. Now be careful, the craft tool is a bit sharp, but I'm just going to poke 2 holes on each side, and you're going to want to poke the holes on the top of your planter. And then I just took a bit of sandpaper and I very gently sandpapered the front part of my little garden planter. I wanted the little French saying to show through. And I think I'm just now realizing that one of mine is a French saying and one of them is in English. How funny and cool is that? I don't think I've ever found the English version. Usually I always pick up the French version. So anyway, Dollar Tree is always blowing my mind, you guys. I'm taking some black craft paint and I want to make this appear to be kind of a vintage enamelware tin. So I'm just using a little craft sponge, which has definitely seen better days, and I'm running just a tiny dab of black paint around the base and the top, and then I even used just an itty tiny bit on the front of this. Now, it's always best to use a little bit less paint and you can always go back in for more, but have fun with this. Paint it whatever color suits your fancy. I'm going to add a generous amount of hot glue to the bottom and use some of that Dollar Tree styrofoam. I want to create a really beautiful spring floral arrangement. It is so time for spring dreaming in my home. I'm going to take some of the Dollar Tree onion grass and I did clip it apart, and then I began to add some really beautiful little Dollar Tree lilacs. I also had some Walmart lavender left over from last season. I've heard rumor that the Dollar Tree lavender isn't super great this year. My girl at Chic on the Cheap, Sarah Jane, said definitely check Walmart for your lavender. So if you're a shabby chic French farmhouse girl or just love to decorate with some pretty lavender, definitely check on that. I did go ahead and add some pretty white flowers to the top of this. Again, just making it a fun spring floral. Use whatever colors and florals suit your fancy. Now I'm just going in with some of that Dollar Tree Excelsior grass. I kind of want to poke that in and around the little spots that I didn't get quite enough florals in. You could also use any of the little Dollar Tree greenery or moss. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach them to my garden gate. So I'm just going to take this Dollar Tree floral wire and I'm going to cut it and then thread the floral wire through the back to create like a little loopy hook. And then you can just go ahead and begin to tie that on to your garden planter. So this turned out so fun and fabulous. So I'm just twisting it on to that center rung. Right here, you can see the center rung, and go ahead and feel free to paint the back of yours, but this is going to be probably hanging on a wall somewhere. And here is how the finished product looked. Okay, so for this video, I just went ahead and stood it up. You can see my little lamp kind of hanging over it. I stood it up and I added a picture frame around it to give it a little bit of security. This would hang very nicely on a wall if you use 2 nails on either side. And I incorporated it into this French farmhouse, French country look. Backed by popular demand, the last video I did for you was also a French farmhouse, French country look, and so many of you all requested me to do another French country video, so here it is, backed by popular demand. I hope you all are loving it, and you get some fun ideas for how to add some of these beautiful kind of French farmhouse techniques or ideas into your home. And then for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just going to take this little Dollar Tree kitchen sign, which I actually think is really cute. I'm going to keep it, but I wanted to add this little French farmhouse saying. And in fact, if you all are French and you know what this says, definitely comment and let me know. I'm not for sure what it says, but I did get the graphic off of graphicsfairy.com. All you guys have to do is just search French farmhouse and you'll find some really pretty little sayings and sign additions. So I just popped it into this white Dollar Tree frame and I add it into this beautiful little setup here, and I think it's just looking so fun and fabulous. I love this cream and black ticking fabric. I got it from burlapfabric.com, but I've also seen it at Walmart if you all need any French country kind of curtain or fabric or whatnot. So for the next DIY, I'm actually going to upcycle some of these Bath & Body Works candle lids. I'm going to take some of this chalk paint, and again, I used several different coats. I will suggest that I do like the Waverly chalk paint paint better than this Kilns chalk paint. It seems to have a bit more coverage. So then once I had my little lids chalk painted, I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree contact paper, and I'm just going to trace around the lids. What I want to create is a coaster for my living room. I cannot wait to redecorate for spring, so definitely check back next week for spring decorating. I will have a huge DIY video posting as well on Saturday, but I'm just going to go ahead and trace around the little contact paper. I want it to fit the very top of the lid. I'm just going to add it to the top of the lid. You guys, really the sky is the limit. Originally, I thought I was going to Mod Podge a French graphic onto this, but I spied a little bit of contact paper that I needed to use up. I've been using this pretty much everywhere. I used it in organizing my kitchen and laundry room. I just think it's so pretty, and I love the black and white. I think it's so French country, and just so fun and fabulous. So here is how they look, and you can really pop these in anywhere for just a bit of black and white pops, or just somewhere nice for you to set your beverage, and it'll be something very pretty and nice to look at, and it'll go along with your little French farmhouse chic country theme. A lot of what you all see in my videos, I have a lot of questions of different things that you all see, and I'm going to tell you pretty much everything is from the thrift store, flea market, or garage sales. So if you're wondering where these extra items are from that we haven't crafted, that's where you're going to find them. The thrift store or garage sale. I'm sorry, that's not much help. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking some of those large Easter signs, and I'm going to chalk paint the front and back. Again, this did take several coats, so just be patient with yourself. And then once you have those chalk painted, you can go ahead and begin distressing them. I also have to add a side note with these two signs to put them together. I was out of actually popsicle sticks, so I did just use a Dollar Tree love sign that was left over from Valentine's Day. You can just hot glue, add some E6000, and that will keep your two signs together. You could also use popsicle sticks or paint sticks or whatever. So we are going to go ahead and give this kind of an aged look. I went starting out with some black paint, and I'm going to share with you guys kind of how I do layers when I go about distressing a project. I start out with the black paint, and then I'm taking some white chalk paint, and I'm just going to add a layer over that. You guys can pretty much distress with any colors that you love. I'm going to end up adding another one of the Dollar Tree Easter signs on top of this. I just wanted to give it something fun and fabulous to kind of frame out. So I do want to think about the colors that are already in that sign, which are kind of some grays and some taupes. So now I'm going in with another layer of gray paint and just again layering over. So if you need to add in more darker colors, you can add in more blacks. If you want it to look more white, you can just add another wash of white over it. But just have fun adding in layers of paint to give it that kind of nice distressed barnwood feel or vintage feel. I think this is so fun, and honestly, crafting for me is definitely therapy. So try not to make it perfect, you guys. Just embrace the imperfections in your crafting and continue to go for it. So once I had my base boards all just distressed and kind of cool looking, I wanted to go back in with the little Dollar Tree Easter sign. I think this is just such a fun way to kind of dress up these signs. And so I'm adding in a layer of E6000 glue, and I'm adding it to the center part of the board as well to kind of keep it held together just a little bit. Remember, it is held together on the back with some extra board, but you know, a little bit, I'm a safety girl, a little bit can't hurt. I did add some hot glue so it would adhere instantly, and then the E6000 glue will help it adhere temporarily. I'm using some buffalo check plaid ribbon I had from my craft stash. You can find that at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm just going to pop this cute little bunny bow into the center. And how fun and fabulous is this? So this is really going to be really nice. I have thoughts on where I want to put this in my home. I want to use this, I think, next to my mantle. I cannot wait to begin my spring decorating inside my home. I have a lot of spring decorating going on in my little crafting studio right now. I've been waiting for Valentine's Day is now over, so I'll be tidying things up, putting all my Valentine's Day away, and then adding in loads of spring touches to my home. But I am just crushing on this springtime French farmhouse, French country, French chic little look. I added in some shabby chic and so fun. So for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make kind of a floppy, scrappy bow. I'm going to make just a lantern bow. So I'm going to take some of this ribbon. This is just ribbon I have in my stash. It came from burlapfabric.com. And I'm just going to take some of the striped ribbon and then this really neat netting ribbon. I'll leave a link for burlapfabric.com down below for you guys. The coupon code to get $5 off is Olivia Spring. And so I'm just cutting, these are about 14 to 16-inch pieces, but you'll want to cut your ribbon however long your lantern is. My little lantern really isn't that tall. I like to make extra large bows, and I'm going to have to find a taller lantern, but I just really think this one is so cute. And so many of you asked where I found the lantern, and it was at the thrift store. So, but for this bow, you're just going to take and you're going to fold your little ribbons in half. It's super easy, and you're going to hold them in the center with your finger and just begin to continue to fold them in half. What I love about this bow is it really uses up a lot of extra scrap ribbons. So fun, easy, and fabulous. And I love adding all kinds of different textures with the striped ribbon, the buffalo check, the little lace ribbon, and then that netting ribbon. I've also seen kind of the netty ribbon at Hobby Lobby as well. So definitely check that out and don't be afraid to try some new things. And then I'm just twisting this on with some wire. It's just the Dollar Tree floral wire. So you're just going to twist it on to whatever little project you're going for. And then I did go ahead and begin to fluffy out my little loopy bow, scrappy bow. I know there's another name for this, but I just cannot for the life of me remember it. Julie Samako originated this one over at Southern Charm Wreaths. Go check her out if you love to make wreaths. I definitely adore her. And then I'm just going to add in some greenery. I'm adding dabs of hot glue to the base of my greenery. And then just I'm going to pop it in underneath the bow. So it's more gluing to the bow and really not so much the lantern. You could also twist it on with floral wire, but I find this method seems to be just fine. And just continue to add in whatever springtime colors that you're decorating with and whatever suits your fancy. I just feel like springtime greenery is so nice to use. And recently I've also been crushing on some pops of purple. I think that's so fun and fabulous for spring, just to add in the lilacs and the lavender. And I think it gives it also a very French farmhouse, French country feel. So here is how the finished product looked with this little lantern bow. Oh my goodness. And then I have a little Dollar Tree candle popped into there, trying to give my bow just a little bit of extra fluffing. So definitely let me know what colors do you guys use for spring. I know a lot of people use greenery. Are you using pinks, pastels yet? I'm definitely going to go in for my home with a lot of whites and then add some touches of grays, blacks, and whites, and then add in my pops of color. As Easter draws near, I'm definitely going to be going for pastels. I love pastels, but definitely the French country farmhouse look is speaking to me so much. So for the next DIY, I'm going to share with you guys another sign repaint. So again, this is the Dollar Tree Easter signs. I love them because they're so large, and so they make really great base projects if you like to craft. And then again, I'm just going in with this extra bit of a love sign. You can add popsicle sticks, add some hot glue in E6000, and it will hold these signs together just perfectly. So once I have my little signs put together, I'm adding just a tiny bit of black paint around the edges. I'm not going to distress this one quite as much as I did the last one. The last one, I wanted the bunny sign more to blend in. This one, I want to be more of just a backdrop for the Happy Easter sign. So I'm going to use a Happy Easter. It's in the crafting section, and it is going to be just a plain base of a sign. So something a little bit more subdued and fun without quite all of the funsy colors. I think that's a fun way to mix in, is to use some of the funsy Dollar Tree signs. And then for a little bit more of a classy look, you can use some of the more plain signs and then just go in. And I'm going to use a little bit of white chalk paint mixed in with some black to make just a really pretty French gray. And then I'm just going to apply this with my little sponge. You could also use a paintbrush. Again, this Happy Easter sign is from Dollar Tree. It's in the craft section, the Easter crafts, and use whatever color suits your fancy. You could use pink or greens or yellow or whatever color is speaking to you for your home decor right now. I had a lot of fun with this project. I love these French grays. My mom is really into French grays. I definitely think she has a lot of influence on some of these French touches that I put into my home. So again, I'm just adding in some E6000. That is going to adhere to my sign really well for a permanent hold. And then the hot glue will adhere to my sign for the long-term hold. It's a really nice mixture, and you can layer them on top of each other or just kind of next to each other is what I do. So once you have all that on there, you can just pop it on to your sign. I don't know if you guys notice, but all of the crafts that I create, I'm pretty much crafting backwards and upside down. So sometimes I notice that my signs can be a little off center. If you really have to have it centered though, you may want to measure on either side and try not to craft backward and upside down. So here it is in with this French country farmhouse theme. Oh my goodness, I am so crushing on this. As always, I ask that you all comment and let me know what is your favorite project in this DIY, and all of your requests have been heard for more of the French country, French farmhouse, shabby chic mixture of a theme. I think you guys can really take all of these elements and mix them in so well. I think you can add touches of romance with laces and scrolly designs, and then you can add touches of farmhouse with some of your metals and your grays and your distressed look, and then the French country with some of your browns and the distressed and the French themes. So just however you all like to combine those, I really think that they all kind of transfer together. But oh my goodness, I'm just so excited to be sharing this with you. Definitely go check out also the rest of the videos in this I Love Spring series. You guys are going to be blown away how we're taking Dollar Tree projects or Dollar Tree items and just making them a little bit more classy and fantastic and fabulous. Boutique gorgeous on a budget, and I so love y'all. Thank you for being here.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is such a blessing and an honor to have you all here. Again, if you are new, welcome. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I am a dedicated wife, mama, and crafter, and I love to share with y'all how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. You do not have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. For everybody that comes back and loves on me and that comments and shares, I just want to hug your hearts all so tight. Thank you. It is a blessing and an honor to be here. It is a blessing and an honor for you all to watch my videos. I just cannot imagine a more wonderful thing to be able to share what I do, my love of crafting and home decor and organizing and tidying and just making your homes beautiful. I love to share that with you all. So thank you for being here. You guys just keep me going on this YouTube journey. So also I wanted to let you all know I have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. A lot of crafty friends over there. It is such a kind little community. Request to join my Facebook group page. I'll approve your request, and you can post photos of your DIY projects and your home decor, and just I love to see what you guys are up to. Also tag me over on Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram. I'll share your beautiful projects on my story. I also say good morning to you all every morning with a good morning cup of coffee. So thank you guys again. It is a blessing and an honor to be here. Until the next video, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
And it shows if I'm honest.